Hello and welcome to today's reflection. Today we are going to look at Luke 6 verses 41 and 42. It's the familiar story that perhaps some of us can remember from our childhood, from Sunday school or perhaps school assemblies. The story of the log or the plank and the speck. And it's a parable that Jesus tells his disciples to help them realise that they need to first focus on themselves before they start criticising or looking at other people. I've just come through several years of training at theological college, and one of the things that they're quite keen to tell us is that we mustn't compare ourselves with the other students. I think we all come to God with a whole range of different gifts and skills, and sometimes we can belittle our own gifts and skills and look towards others and see all the amazing things that they are good at and the things that they can do, and perhaps maybe makes us feel insecure about the gifts and the skills that God has given to us to use. And as you can see, I have just come back from the DIY shop in order to make some minor repairs to the shed in the garden, which looks slightly dilapidated and needs some love and attention. So it's going to get a lick of paint, and I'm going to remove some of the rotten wood and replace it with some new wood. I'm not a great DIY person, but I think I probably can manage. We'll see. You'll be able to see the fruits of my labour at some stage, maybe. But I think it's important for us, especially during this time, to not spend too much time looking towards others and seeing what they are doing and how they are coping and making comparisons with ourselves. How other people are coping in lockdown, if they are perhaps bending some of the rules or not, or maybe looking at some of the other churches, the churches that perhaps are producing very polished services online, right the way through to other churches who are maybe managing a weekly or a monthly newsletter to keep their congregation in connection with each other, and everything that comes in between. It's not helpful for us to judge and to compare. We need to look at ourselves and our own journey with God, what he is asking of us today and how he is going to use us today. And that needs to be our focus, that we are in that right place with him. So I'm just going to read a couple of verses to you from Luke 6, starting at verse 41. Why do you see the speck in your neighbour's eye, but do not notice the log in your own eye? Or how can you say to your neighbour, friend, let me take out the speck in your eye, when you yourself do not see the log in your own eye? You hypocrite! First take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your neighbour's eye. So I think my prayer for us today is that we remember to look at ourselves first and to see and to make sure that we are in a right place with God and that we are doing all that God is calling us to do before we start looking to others and start making comparisons between how we worship and perhaps the things we do and maybe the way we live our lives. Amen.